Hi guys, and welcome back to Honey, We're Home. I'm Caroline Crawford Patterson.
And I'm Nicole Pellegrino.
And I brought guests for us.
So
I brought Sunny Angels. These are my two friends.
So here's I need to know what a Sunny Angel is, because I've been removed from pop culture. I've been removed from politics, news. I've basically been living under a rock for the past
I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to stop you. That's not why you don't know what they are. We don't know what they are because we're old. My friend and her sisters have been collecting these Sunny Angels for, I'm going to go on like a year. These are not new. Because this is my version of psycho, as I took her in what I thought was a baby store she has no baby. I was like, you're gonna love this because I love it. This store has cute baby clothes and toys. She's like, this store has Sunny Angels. I'm like, so are those all those creepy dolls in the window? She proceeds to she goes and visits the store often to buy new Sunny Angels for herself and her sisters. And she brought me one, and I was like, this is my first Sunny Angel.
No. Okay, I'm gonna stop you.
Okay, stop me.
Why was I seeing all of a sudden?
I don't know.
On TikTok, people receiving their very first Sunny Angel.
Maybe they saw me do it, and then they did it after.
I was abroad, and I opened TikTok once, and I see everyone in America going, "Oh my God, this is so special."
It was two people. It was me and Greta.
Well, no, I saw more Sunny Angel.
You saw more?
I feel like I did see more.
Because I saw Greta do it like a few days later.
Okay, and I said, maybe I will extend my trip a couple days. I said, this is one thing I don't need to rush back to.
Okay, here's the thing is that I spent a year making fun of people for this. And then as soon as my friend walked into my apartment and handed me and my little sister that was visiting, Claire, the youngest, a Sunny Angel, all of a sudden we got the hype. Because when someone hands you a box and you don't know what's inside of it,
yes.
You're excited. So then I opened it, and I got the New York collection. I got the Wall Street Bowl. And Claire got an apple.
For the listeners, though, can we describe what even is this?
It's a little doll. It's a little toy. It's a doll. Their heads come off.
It's like a little action figure, you guys, for those of you listening.
But they're babies. They have angels. They actually have genitalia, which I discovered yesterday.
Yeah, that's
so weird. Anyways, they release...
It's a perversion.
Okay, so they release collections, and they'll be like the sweets collection, the veggie collection, the fruit collection. And in that collection, there are like 11 or 12 different things that, like different types of dolls that fit that bill. And then there will be like a mystery one. So the mystery one is something you have no idea what it is. If you open up your package and you get the mystery one, obviously you know, because that one isn't on the box. It's an exciting little thing. But the box doesn't tell you which sweet or vegetable or fruit you get. So It's all a surprise. They released a New York collection, and I got the mystery.
What are you supposed to do with them?
The mystery's a bowl.
Like for adults that receive them, do you just let them sit on a shelf?
Yeah, I've been putting them around my apartment like a little weirdo. Oh, they hold hands.
So is this a thing that's actually catching on to pop culture, or was it actually just you and Greta that I saw?
I have no idea. Because we'll have to wait and see, because we went back into the store. Claire missed her flight to go home, which is very in the family. So she came back to me, and we got to hang out for an extra day and a half. And when she got back, she was like a sad little girl because she was hungry and tired and wanted to go home. And so I took her suitcase home, and then I took her to get a treat. And the treat was to go to the toy store and get another Sunny Angel. And it really lifted her spirits. We got them for all my sisters and my mom. And then we couldn't stay away. Like, we ended up opening them all.
You guys think. Is it a Gen Z thing?
I do think it's a Gen Z thing, because when we were first of all, my sister is literally 20. And when we went in the store to get them, my friend's also a Gen Z, and all of her sisters are younger. It was just filled with like 19-year-olds.
Okay.
Picking out their Sunny Angels.
But my question is it a thing that's like catching on right now?
I think it's one of those things where 19-year-olds do it and we all giggle about it, and then all of a sudden we're doing it too because we want to get in on the hype.
I can't say I'll ever do it.
Well, they're $10.
That's expensive for that.
They sell online for $30. This store sells them at market price.
This is consumerism at an all-time high. I hate to yuck anybody's yum.
I should have brought you one, and then we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, because it's
one of those aren't for me. I don't even want it. They're naked babies.
You can't have these.
That's wrong.
I opened another one yesterday, and it's a little, you can attach it to your phone. It's a sticky.
Oh, God.
And it's an eggplant, and it was so cute. I think I lost it already, though.
It was an eggplant? That's perverted. I don't like that.
Oh my
okay,
God.
let's move on because this Sunny Angel thing is like weirding me out. So it's definitely weirding those.
So the other thing I brought as a prop today is my mom's Olympics pin from '96 because now I'm an Olympics girl.
Cool. This is really cool.
I've had this pin for 20 years.
By the time this episode comes out, will the Olympics be over?
No. They won't be. I mean, well, they might have. They in the 11th, I think, and this will come out. This today will be the 13th.
So this is another reason I kind of picked the worst time to travel.
No, I have a brooch.
Yeah, I love that.
Team USA.
I picked the worst time to travel though because I felt like I was in Spain with Allie, who like wasn't good at keeping up with the Olympics, so thus I wasn't good at it. So like, I don't know, the Olympics was just like happening without us. It felt like it was off the time. I missed the ceremonies, I missed the big things, so I was watching everything not live, and I just felt the whole like I'm under a rock thing even more than ever
because social media has been very enamored with this Olympics. So so you're seeing. But
then I caught up. Like I spent 2 hours the other morning just scrolling Olympics content and like the gymnastics, obviously the most.
I mean, there's so much.
There
are so many moments.
I love the gymnastics girls. I'm sad for them. Like I am their biggest fan.
I cried. You know, my sister went. So she's working the Olympics. So she got to go see all the gymnastics finals. And she said, I said this on last week's podcast, but you were in here. She said to us, like being in a room with Simone Biles is like more intense than being at like an Eras tour.
I would freak out.
Like just being in her presence, like not even anybody else.
Yeah, she probably has such a good, just like executive presence.
Yeah. And I mean, she said it was so quiet in there. You could hear a pin drop because of how nervous everyone was. But my wreck of the week, did you see the guy that lost his, I'm hoping you saw this, wedding ring in the Seine at the opening ceremony?
No, where?
For I forgot what country France. I think he's a French Olympian. They were doing the opening ceremony down the Seine and he was waving the country's flag. The Seine? Oh my God.
What's the scent?
The Seine. No, like the river in France. The Seine.
Oh. No, I don't know the
this
fucking
is an
river
exciting
in France.
moment.
I've never been to France. Want to make fun of me for it?
The Olympics opening ceremony was the boats floating down the Seine.
I didn't watch it.
He was waving his country's flag and he was so excited. His ring came off and like bounced onto the boat and into the water.
I should know.
I mean,
the river in France. Or like,
I'm in no position to tell you what you shouldn't know.
Am I an uncultured swine for not knowing that?
I have no comment.
I know the Nile River. I know the Hudson River. Mississippi. I can name you some rivers. I just the river in France. And I didn't watch. If I had watched, that'd be a different story.
Well, he wrote a huge novel/poem dedication post on Instagram to his wife about how his wedding ring fell into the river, and he said, if it's going to be somewhere, I'm happy that it's at the bottom of the river of love, and if you want, we'll throw yours in there too, so they can be there together forever, and we can do what you always wanted and get married again and renew our vows and get new rings. And I'm so sorry.
Wait, no. He's an angel. He said we'll throw yours in as well.
I mean, you don't understand. Should I just read you the entire post? I mean, no. I won't, but you should read it because I think that get yourself a husband like that.
Okay, I like the sentiment. I like that he's like very apologetic, and are we taking off the diamond and throwing it in for shits and giggles? No, this is the logical.
No. I mean, he's saying like basically like you wanted a ring upgrade. Toss yours in and we're gonna go get you a new ring and I'm gonna get a new ring.
Tell me you're rich without telling me.
I mean, right, but the idea that he's just so sad that he lost his ring, he's in the Olympics for Christ's sake, and all he can think about is, oh my God, my wife. He was waving the flag and the flag pulled his hand, or the flags were heavy, it was rainy, it was stormy.
For some reason, there's a reason, when men lose their wedding ring, it's not as big a deal to me as like a woman losing her engagement ring.
Significantly I feel like less expensive.
Like Mike's will probably like get a new one soon for him because he's just like dented it.
Well, we know that John should not be losing his because he requested diamonds in his ring.
So that's a different story. If there were diamonds,
but my dad's lost his like twice.
Yeah, like I hear of men like leaving it at the gym or like denting it or things. Speaking of losing rings and wearing rings, I got so many DMs being like, "You're insane for wearing your ring on the boat in Spain and everything."
Oh,
I wore.
Are
my
you
ring.
a girl that travels with her ring or not?
I do, and Mike fully. Okay,
I do too.
We need to get it. This leads me to the
to the trip. Yeah.
So we need to. So Mike was like. So for those of you listening, if you didn't see, I was in Spain for like a full week with one of my girlfriends, just two of us traveling. I've never done that before. And then right after that trip, I flew to London. She flew home. Mike met me in London. We were there for a week. We had a wedding.
What prompted the girls' trip?
Yeah, so that's a lot of people are like, okay, Nicole, why are you like running amok with just a girl throughout? Like, you're a married woman, you know, you should be traveling with your husband, blah, blah, blah. Which I have a lot of pros and cons to speak to on that. So basically, I was like, this is the first time and only time in my life, if things go according to plan, TBD, but like, I have no kids right now. I have one dog, that's it. I don't have a full-time job, which is the first time that's ever happened. I was like, during the summer, and this might be my only summer doing that. So I was like, honestly, I've always wanted to go to Spain. I still have like a lot of places in the world to check off my list. And this gets into a larger conversation because like, not like I can't do this when I am married. I just know, like, Mike and I have been together for 10 years. We do everything together.
Yeah.
We obviously will do even more together once we have kids. Like, we're going to be more of a family unit and everything. So I was like, listen, I'm going to Mallorca. Everybody's been going. Allie travels at the like once a month, literally. So I was like, she's the girl. And remember, like, it was supposed to be a larger girls trip. We like started like pseudo inviting other girls, but then it was like a lot last minute, whatever. So it was just the two of us. We did Barcelona for 2 nights, Mallorca for the rest of the trip. And it was stunning and beautiful. I have pros and cons to traveling with just a girl versus your husband.
What's the biggest pro of each and the biggest con of each, if you could say?
Pro of each is that, like, you're very on the same page with, okay,
your
pro
spouse.
of the girl. Well, with your spouse, you are too. Pro of the girl, your content, honestly, they're really good at content.
Okay, yeah, that you guys got good content, and I there's a cap on that with your spouse, like, just because they're also the ones helping you with content 24/7, and they kind of just want to break.
Yeah, for sure. Even though like Mike knows he's signed up for that at this point, but like, and even Allie, I don't want to like exhaust her with content or her with me, but girls want content for themselves. Yeah. So it's more reciprocal, I guess.
Okay.
Or just like being on the same page. I don't know. I just love a girls trip. I love like yapping with a friend. Yeah. And weirdly, like, you know, when you're traveling with somebody for so long, you almost get like snippy with them.
Well, yeah, it's like with your sibling. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do it as much with girlfriends.
That's so interesting.
But I don't get snippy with, I don't know, whatever.
But maybe it's because you don't have to like sleep in the same bed with them every night and like all of these things that like,
well, we did though.
Yeah, you are kind of, I don't know, there's an idea to like, it's more respected that you each want your alone time at some point.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, I'll bully my siblings and spouse more than I bully friends, you know?
Yeah, maybe there's just more of a line of where like you have an internal thought that you don't say out loud with a friend.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's a pro to it. A con is like 2 girls traveling together in Spain. Everyone was like, be safe. It's not safe over there in Barcelona specifically. Like, we felt safer in Mallorca. Barcelona was like, felt safe, whatever. Like, we live in New York City. There's things happening all the time. Long story short, and this is actually a long story that I'll make short. There was like this homeless man at one point. It was 10 a.m. We're waiting for our Uber to go to the Park Güell. And we're sitting there like having coffee. we were like sitting against a table in this like random, almost like picture like a Burger King, but for coffee. This like random place we just like pulled over into to wait for our Uber. There were people over yonder in the restaurant, like turned around, not paying attention to us and whatnot. And I wouldn't have screamed in this scenario. That's a little bit dramatic. But
right, but it's not like people were watching and ready to help you.
Yeah, we weren't like right next to. So at one point, I'm like on my phone. All of a sudden, I look up right to my left. Picture I'm here. Allie's like 2 feet away from me, sitting here. We're kind of facing each other. I look up. There's like this homeless man right there, like very close to us. And I tell people we encounter homeless people all the time. Some normal, minding their own business. Some just whatever. In New York, I feel like they don't come up and full on talk to you and make steady eye contact. And this guy was like relentless. He's sitting there. He's talking to. He's like, I work here. Do you need the Wi-Fi? He did not work there. Trust me.
Oh, so okay.
And he kept looking at my phone. Everybody was like telling us like, there's phone snatchers in Barcelona right now. Like, careful. Don't be like people run up and snatch your phone. I don't know. I saw these things on TikTok. So I'm clutching my phone.
Well, that's a normal tourism thing in any major city. Like, people tell New York tourists that. And that's true. If you're hanging around Times Square, I'm sure that there are people that are pickpocketers targeting people that they know that are traveling.
Yeah. And so basically he was like, Allie was frozen. She kind of like left me to do the talking.
Yeah.
And you don't want to engage, but in this scenario, like we had to, or else he wasn't leaving. So he's just like looking at me. He looks into my eyes and he goes, "You have the most beautiful eyes." And I'm like, okay, well, when you put it that way, sir, like you complimented me. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But I just kept saying like, thank you, bye.
Oh, and
like,
you couldn't necessarily just walk away because you were waiting for an Uber.
No, we were pinned against this table, like we couldn't, if we got up.
And you were sitting down.
And he was very close. Like you and I sitting right now, him right here, crouched down. He looks at me, goes like this in my face.
Oh, no.
Blows. My hair went back.
Oh. Was he upset?
I was like, "Sir, I don't even
or this
let
was
my
like a part of his
breathe his morning breath in my face. It's 10 a.m. I'm not gonna let you breathe your morning blow in my face." And at that point, my heart is sunken. I'm just beaten.
You're just like, I wish Mike was here.
I'm like, I wish a man was here. Yeah. And he finally walked away, and we got our Uber, and it was a woman driver. And I was like, "Ma'am, we could just drive around in your car forever all day. We don't even need to go to the park, honey." So
that's
the con of like traveling without a guy. Girl.
I think that most people probably experience that on the reg, and like we get our fair share of getting poked in the boobs, etc. by assuming men. But like, it is true, and I tell John this all the time. There is a very huge difference in what men specifically, like men of any shape, size, income bracket, of what they feel brazen enough to do when a guy isn't around. And it just can be upsetting and frustrating at times because you get exhausted of it. And like, no one should feel like it's easier to walk down the street with a guy. Like, that's just a really sickening way to feel and just stupid. But it's
the world we live in.
But you can't control other people, and it is.
Yeah. But other than that, no weird encounters, thank God. I will say, like, I made a video about this on TikTok. There's like the differences of traveling with a man. It's like they carry your bags for you. Like, I was sore.
The bag.
Oh, we had to rent a car in Mallorca. Allie and I both don't drive ever. We're passenger princesses. We decided if somebody were to drive or be the better driver, somehow we landed on me. No, she really like has never driven.
Did you feel like, though, because I feel like this, when you are alone or just like with another girl, strength comes out of you that you like didn't know that you had when you like lift your suitcases and stuff?
Yes.
And I mean, I can't even make this shit up. Like, I had to bring my sister's 70-pound bag up 5 flights of stairs when she missed her flight, and all of a sudden I'm the Hulk. Yeah. And I'm like, no, don't you worry about it. I've got it.
Yeah.
But it's so unfortunate.
Well, and I feel like we've gotten, I can't speak for you. I've gotten codependent on Mike over the years.
I literally have multiple times dropped my suitcase off on the second floor, went upstairs, gotten a piece of paper and a pen, written, "This is for John to take up later." taped it on my suitcase, and then gone about my day. And it could be 10 a.m. and I will literally,
especially in your building,
especially my building, I will drop. Once I did it on the 3rd floor, I was like, super safe here. And I will leave it there with a note that says, for 5B, John's going to take it up later. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm so codependent. It's a sick thing. Okay, so you rented a car.
Rented a car. Where did we get into all this? Oh, I will say too, the trip with Allie, we had the best time ever. Don't get me wrong. I highly recommend Majorca. I have all the recs if you ever need. I will say though, like, it made me realize, like, I am ready for that next step in life. Kind of, because bring me back 5 or so years ago, we were at, like, you realize when you're at Nikki Beach in Majorca and you're just looking around and you're like,
oh, you wanted to be a family.
I don't even want to talk to anybody. Not that I'm, like, normally going around trying to, like, meet women, men, etc. Like, we met.
You're like the greeter for the beach.
People, like, we met this cool group of girls that was from London. They gave me a bunch of recommendations. We were talking to guys, not in a creepy way. Some guys trying to talk creepily to us, which I also think is a good plus of wearing your ring, because then, or your ring, or just like any ring.
Well, the thing with the ring is that people that don't take their rings on vacation, like, bring like a moissanite or something that they got off like Amazon and trade it for it.
Well, that's smart. Mike was like, don't wear your ring. Like, that's
risky. And
I was like, Mike, I can't be running around Spain ringless. Like, that gives the wrong vibe.
Because the ring is such a shield.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been walking down the street and you know someone's about to say something to you, and so you purposely put your, like, left hand, like, up or in front of your face so they can see?
I do it at bars.
Yeah, like, you subconsciously pick up a drink with your left hand, or you, like, put your hair behind your ear with your left hand, or you like scratch an itch over your shoulder that's not there just so someone can see that you have a ring on your finger. It's like, it is such a male deterrent, and there are only so many like approaches that you can take that are, until you just, like, literally want to scream.
Yeah. No, and I was like, that, I can't be...
No, definitely not. It is a literal shield.
Even though, like, I probably should have done the Amazon thing, because me jumping off the boat into water... Allie was wearing one of her I'm just airing all her business.
Did she lose it?
She's wearing just a David Yurman ring.
Oh, no.
And she's not engaged, so it wasn't an engagement ring, thank God. But still, this ring that she really liked. And we, like, jumped off a cliff at one point into water. And right away, she was like, I don't have a ring. And I was put on goggles. I was searching. I turn into, like, the man in our relationship. I, like, literally was like, I'll find it. And, like, was looking everywhere and couldn't. The water was too deep.
Okay, so I order a ring, travel with it for sure. Yeah. I've never done that myself. I just travel with my rings.
Yeah.
I, like, have an attachment to them, which I think most of us probably do.
Yeah. But then, okay, so the Pro of London with Mike, I had so much fun in London. You did not tell me how amazing it is.
Well, we weren't there for that long. Oh, you guys got to be there for an extended period of time.
We had the wedding in between.
And London was John's favorite. I just like,
Mike loved it. Like, we both were like, do we move here?
No.
Like, seriously.
I keep telling John, I'm like, you can get a transfer.
Yeah, I will with you.
Yeah.
So, and traveling with your husband in my video, it makes you realize, like, you just don't have to do as much. Like, they handle the transportation. And I try to do some just so I'm not like a passenger loaf. Yeah. But husbands are just so good at it. And you're on the same page. You, like, the one downside, like, I guess he doesn't want to watch me, like, shop all day, which I don't want to shop all day, so it's fine.
There are certain girl activities, but...
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just a very different experience.
I think what's interesting is that I saw something once, like, years ago that was like, girls have to be so in charge of everything all the time that when they unplug and become codependent on you, it's not because they're incapable. It's because you have provided an environment where they don't have to be in charge all the time. Yes. And that is just a feeling of home, and it's so nice. But have you ever noticed when you go with your friends and groups, there is one person that's, like, in charge, and sometimes it fluxes. Like, it depends on what person you are with. So, like, there are people that are in a relationship and maybe they were the person that makes all the decisions in the relationship. So then when they come hang out with you, they're you make all the decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's typically, like, vice versa.
Yeah. What is it for you guys? Like when you and John go on a trip?
Same as you. Like I need to be on top of it, organizing things. I need to know exactly what's happening when I'm on a trip with my friends and or my family even. And with John, I don't know what day of the week it is.
So that's interesting. With Mike, usually I'm more of a trip planner, and with friends too. Like we kind of just do it equally, but like I don't know. With Allie, we did a lot equally. Like even just the pulling out your phone to navigate to another destination is like an annoying thing when you're walking. And I feel like we did that like shared equally. I did that with Mike too, though, both. But Mike, this trip, he did a lot. He planned.
That's nice. And maybe that's why you really liked London.
I know. I was like,
it's a really nice feeling. And I think it makes them feel accomplished.
Yeah. He like got tired, burnt out me.
Oh yeah, that's kind of nice.
I was like, sorry, babe.
Because you're like really
tired.
Like John likes when I'm like sleepy because I just like don't have it in me to. Maybe Mike enjoys the burnt out Nikki because you just like could give two fucks. Like you're just like I'm here to go with the flow.
Yeah, I was still kind of go. Actually, not gonna lie. My burnt out is like still on crack.
I'm sure. Okay, so if you had to give one of your big London recs and one big Mallorca rec, what would you say?
Good question.
Restaurant. Why don't you say for London? Let's do a restaurant.
Have like areas and neighborhoods.
Yeah. For London, what was your favorite restaurant in your favorite area? Let's start there.
Oh, I really liked. Well, Notting Hill was my favorite area.
Yeah.
I could have spent decades there. I'm sure you liked that too. It's very you.
I loved Notting Hill.
Is there something on my lip?
I know you got it off.
Oh, I like felt it, and then I saw your eyes just like on my lip only.
No, it was just a bubble.
And then it was like I felt something. Notting Hill, and then I liked, it's basic, but I liked the Chiltern Firehouse where your girl Taylor Swift apparently frequents.
It's very nice. I saw you went.
Yeah, it was fancy.
We wanted to go, but we had we were only there for one night.
Oh.
Well, we not really, but one night where we could go somewhere else, and they had no reservations.
Yeah, you got to plan ahead there. We sat at the counter, which I recommend.
Yeah, you said that. I love a bar. I love a bar seating. That's a big city thing, though.
Yeah,
not in the suburbs.
The waiter was like, "Are you sure we actually have a table open?" And I was like, "No, we want the bar."
It's like city privilege. We talk about suburban privilege, but city privilege is like being able to sit at the bar, and it's super counter service is super normal and a vibe.
Yeah,
a huge vibe. Okay, so what about Mallorca? What was your favorite beach?
Oh God, I was Dia. I don't know.
Yes, my sister. That's where we're going next year.
Oh my God, you're gonna love. So Dea, I might be so wrong, is in the north. I think Palma's south. Dea's north. Correct me if wrong.
Well, I don't think either is north or south. I think they're in like I think it might be east west. But I get what you're saying.
I think okay. Well,
the airport's in Palma.
Yes, I know. And then you've got
other
sides of
yeah.
I have so many recs for you when you go. But so Dia was so gorgeous, like stunning mountains, like very much like a retreat vibe. Like,
okay,
that's good if you're at that point in your life where you're not trying to party. You know? The Belmont, you have to go there. Everybody says it. It's so basic, but the food and drinks were so good.
Okay,
if you can stay there, please do. But it's $1 trillion a night. But yeah, I mean that whole area. We found. Like my favorite day was like the little beach next to Cos Patro March. I'm butchering the pronunciation.
Marche, like Marche.
I don't know. I forget how to spell it.
We'll find it.
But that's a really good one. We found this like local beach that Allie's friend who like lived there for a month had recommended.
Ooh.
I don't know what it's actually called. And the girl like was like, don't blow up the local beach's spot, but I'll just find it and give it to like you guys because
DM. If you're going, DM and you can give it. Yeah. That's also the thing is like, you want to know people that you can get recs from, and you want them to be good recs. And you also, if you go somewhere and you enjoy it, you want someone else to have the same experience as you. So if it feels very relaxed and local,
I'm gonna send you.
And you like it, and then someone else comes to you for that rec, it's likely because that's also what they're looking for. So yeah, I love a DM for the recs because then you're not advertising it. Like, what if a video blows up and you're advertising it to millions of people and you're like, crap, this is no longer a good rec?
Yeah, like the locals would be like, this
there's this difference between like gatekeeping
and
then like ruining the situation.
Exactly. Totally. So yeah, and then Palma was honestly like, we had low expectations. We were like, it's going to be a city. I thought it was such a charming city, very old city. I really liked this restaurant called Koa that we didn't even have a reservation to, just went to one night, like looking ugly because we were like, this is a throwaway night, whatever. And we went, and it was like such a vibe. It was we were just like, oh, we wish we were more into, the restaurant was like cool. The food was great.
You wish you had vibe prepped better.
So
maybe that go, but not on a throwaway dinner night.
Vibe prep for it.
Yeah, vibe prep.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Oh, and then the beach club everybody recommend. Like my thing about traveling, we went to all the places that all the tourists recommend because we are tourists. So I hate when people are like, don't go there. It's so touristy. Guess what? I'm a tourist. So we went and we loved it.
You can have a mix. We're good for that though. Like, for example, we like Times Square.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we get it, but we also want to see it.
Yeah.
Specific energy to being able to see those things.
Well, like, and my thing is, if I ever go back to Mallorca one day, I'll already have been to the Grand Folier Beach Club that everybody recommends. So I'll be more of a local when I come back.
Other things. Agreed.
Like London, I don't have to go do the Winston Churchill War Rooms again when I go back.
Yeah.
But we did it this time. So, yeah.
That's a really great one.
Like London, we just walked around a lot of the neighborhoods and spent our time doing that.
London's a great place to walk.
Yeah. But I'm so ready to just be back. I'm motivated. It was kind of the trip that you need a vacation from, because I was like, I'm still tired. But I just, you know when you're traveling for too long?
Yeah.
Like, did you get like that on your honeymoon ever?
Our honeymoon wasn't that long because it was during COVID.
That's right.
But this trip that we took this year was
You were gone for a while.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I was revved up. I was fine. I know exactly what you mean, and it usually happens. But I discovered this year the power of having your routine be something that you can travel with and do in your morning and night. And for whatever reason, like, okay, my routine is not psycho. There's a lot of stuff in it, but it's more just setting myself up to like sleep well and then feel good when I wake up. And so that is manageable. And if I do that, then I feel refreshed every day and not like a little piece of me is dying each day. So by the end of the trip, I'm like done.
That's smart. What's something you do? Like, what's the mobile routine that you can do?
I think that I learned this year traveling made me realize that my nighttime routine is more important than my morning routine, which is so interesting.
Yeah, that is
so interesting. But for example, like making sure that you do all of your skincare each night when you're traveling, so you wake up feeling like good about yourself. If you just had to wash your face and put moisturizer on and go out the door when you're traveling, like say you slept in or whatever, you would be fine. You wouldn't constantly be thinking, I need to go back to the hotel. I need to get dressed for the day. I need to do this. Like you become more low maintenance traveling, or putting your hair in the sleepy tie. For me, it's like packing magnesium spray and packing magnesium pills and like making sure that I actually take those.
Got me through.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if anything that helps you, I just started packing things that help me sleep well. If I could pack my hatch, I literally would. And they have travel hatches.
Have a hatch?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it.
How long have you had the hatch?
My mom asked me if John would want it for Christmas, and I said yes, because I wanted it for Christmas. And John always gets better presents than me.
From your own family?
Yeah, isn't that something to behold?
Honestly, same. Wait, okay, so I want to get to your things too, because I just
mine are very quick.
Talking about
no, but I love the hatch. I'd highly recommend it. You know, if they make Hatch Baby, etc. I love it. You get a travel one, and if I had to and could do that, I would do that and travel with it. Sleeping well on trips is just the answer to everything, I feel like.
Yeah, and I did not do that.
And taking a body shower every morning.
Okay.
That's like very helpful.
I love that.
Okay. So my things are just so dumb. We might be moving. We can get more into that next week.
No, I kind of want to. You said that we had a business meeting and Caroline like casually throws that out. And you can't do that when we're on a call with other people.
I just thought I told you.
No.
And I posted about it like 6 times.
You didn't tell me.
Sorry. Sorry. Everybody send us Slack. We found an apartment on the Upper West Side that we like.
Is it bigger?
It is bigger. Yeah, there are downsides to it too. It's just there's a lot happening at our apartment, and I got yelled at by the lawyer.
Stuff. Okay, I know that. All that.
Yeah. So we kind of decided we would look for something else, and if we have to stay, we'll stay. But ideally, we don't have to stay.
Okay.
I mean, we're just bumping our timeline up here. We'll get more into it later. I turned 30 next month.
Yeah.
September 2nd.
No, this is wild. What are we gonna do for your birthday?
I don't know. John is really pressuring me for thoughts.
What are we/you doing? Are you gonna drag John and go somewhere?
No, I'm thinking, well, we were thinking about taking a trip. What I think I want to do.
A party.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm going to do like I love to host in our apartment, and I'm obsessed with our apartment, and I don't really want to leave. So it's kind of like,
use it.
Sad. I think I want to do like a farewell to the apartment party and do like a game trivia day situation at the apartment, and like deck out the apartment and have it kind of be a pregame, and then do a sort of like tour de bars around the West Village of like my favorite spots. So like we'll do a martini hour before we do dinner, and then really fun. Maybe go out.
But
like not late.
I love that. Sorry.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
My stomach just
I don't know though. It's just there's a lot going on, and John's dad's birthday is like right before it, and it always is just so much.
Like
I get very overwhelmed.
You and Allie both with the 30th birthday, you both are like, I just don't know. There's just a lot. Nobody we want to celebrate you guys.
I love other people's birthdays, as we know. I'm so sorry to my little angels. As we know, I love other people's birthdays.
This is fucking Sunny.
Shut up. I love other people's birthdays so much. I love doing huge things for John's birthday. It's a very simple thing. I think that big people won't show up. Like, I'm very insecure.
That is a common insecurity with a birthday.
Yeah. I would rather do other people's birthdays because I know that I'm going to show up.
Did you have their party? Like, some childhood trauma where like you had a party and nobody showed up?
My birthday is Labor Day.
Yeah.
It's always Labor Day weekend. Everyone gets married on Labor Day.
Or they're traveling.
For the past few years, I've had weddings on my birthday. I have one next year, but next year is Greece. So like, please sign me up. Like I have no complaints
for your birthday
and for 31. But because someone's getting married there, it's like, honestly, I have no complaints.
Maybe we'll latch on.
Yeah, come. I was like, we'll do our whole. Well, John, maybe I'm like, take your 2 weeks and whatever. But yeah, 100%. It's always there's always someone else's thing on my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
And I just generally don't actually think people like me.
Oh my God. No, I feel that though. Like, I remember my Halloween party and nobody showed up for the whole first hour. And it was just Mike and I there like,
Once we did a picnic and like no one came. I have like legit major insecurities about people not liking me.
No, you know what people do with parties, which we need to put an end to, me being one. It's the showing up late. Nobody wants to show up on time. I'm just going to start lying to everyone and saying like when saying it's an hour later or earlier because people don't show up
on time.
That they show up an hour later. When we did my Halloween party, it ended up being a booming time. It was mainly women because it was all my friends.
It was a very, very fun party.
But the first hour, like even the staff in the restaurant, the bar where we did it, they were like, is anyone gonna come? It was so embarrassing. And then I remember my experience camps friends, this camp that I volunteer with, they showed up first, which like I love them to death. They're like at this point one of my best friends, but like it wasn't like my best friends from home or school like showed up for it was then so it made them feel awkward.
No, I remember that day there were subway lines down and I got stuck in a part of the city I couldn't get back.
Oh yeah, like you were late.
I was like 27 minutes late and you were like, where the F are you? You better get here. So I'm like, I am trying so hard.
That's when you start, that's the time you start texting like your best friends and you're like, you gotta get here.
I get that though. I felt terrible. I'm like, yes, I want to be recently I showed up early to someone's engagement party because I just feel like people deserve to be celebrated and I don't want you to think that I think this is unimportant.
Yeah.
And I also just, for myself, I don't know, maybe that's why I like a trip or something on my birthday because I really just don't think that people think it's important.
Your 30th is important. If you were turning like 33, Right. I'd still celebrate.
That's a fun number.
I'd still celebrate.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But that's a milestone. We'll Sally. Yeah. We have to at least do a dinner.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do like a Saturday party that weekend, but most people are out of town.
No, but I like your plan of the hopping.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what we'll do, like Saturday. And then, I don't know. If we do a trip, I'll let you know. It would be so last minute. I'm very overwhelmed right now.
Why not? Continue the travels.
But yeah.
I sidelined this whole episode, but we do have a really good email.
Yeah. I'm going to read it really quickly. And if we have to continue this in the next episode, we absolutely will.
A little cliffhanger.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Hi, honeys. I have a story unlike anything you guys have covered yet. Plus, I'd just die for your advice. And this is a story unlike anything we've covered. My boyfriend, who is 27, and I have been together for a year, but it has been the most incredible whirlwind story I've ever lived. I've been in 2 long-term, pretty toxic relationships for 3 years and was forced to mature quite quickly growing up, teaching my parents English. They're from Spain, getting involved in finances, etc. Moral of the story is I've been a paternal figure taken advantage of my whole life, and my current boyfriend is healing the little girl in me. We've already faced a lot of hardships that you normally wouldn't in the first year, and I know this person is who I want to spend the rest of my life with, no doubt, and vice versa. Regardless of being a couple years younger than him, when I tell you this man has grown light years since we've met, and we've both put in the work to become the most united partnership, therapy, lots of talks, think communication between Caroline and John. What a compliment.
I know, I saw that, and
I was like, I should take that out because it's going to sound narcissistic reading it, but it is like such a compliment.
But I also was like, okay, what the fuck? Sorry, listener. No, do my husband and I not? No, I'm kidding. We always do highlight how well you and John, but like,
no, it's
just because I don't talk about it.
I think a lot of people think it's annoying how much John and I have to talk stuff out. Okay, here's where it gets complicated.
I talk stuff out. I just don't talk about how we do like you do.
Right. See, people, you rolled your eyes. Oh my God. See, I knew people thought it was annoying. Okay. I'm self-aware. Here's where it gets complicated. He happens to be on an H-1B visa. He's not from America and studied here to now work in finance, which he's amazing at, and he's been here 10 years. This means that his current employer is applying for his green card, but this also means that it is not easy or straightforward for him to travel overseas. Seeing as though his family is in Brazil and mine is in Spain, this presents a number of problems. The main one being that I do not want to be engaged, which we talked about doing in the next year or two, depending on life, without having met his extended family and vice versa. Because of this, my personal perspective that the paperwork means nothing, I brought up the idea of getting a marriage license a bit early and applying for his green card through that, seeing as though it's something we're already going to be doing in the next year or two. And it'll allow us to do all of the prerequisite things that we want to do before getting ritualistically engaged/married in terms of an actual wedding. We both want to travel for 5-ish years before starting a family and won't be able to travel until 3 years from now if we have the current process take place without intervention, which means he'll be 30 by the time we start our little marriage story. This isn't the end of the world. But aside from me not wanting to pause my life and desires to travel, I also know how much he deserves to be able to do all of the things that I can do and will ultimately just bring us closer. I've thought of all possible outcomes, positive and negative, and I'm comfortable with all of them. I am very close to my family, and so is he. But because I am a mommy's girl, she is very concerned, which I totally understand about me getting hurt. I've always struggled to have boundaries with my mom because we're just so close, and having only my parents here in the U.S. made us be even closer in everything to each other, mother, daughter, sister, aunt, niece, etc. And my therapist told me to consider how sure I am about my decision and that if it's what's going to make me happy, she will get on board eventually. And I can't live my life contingent on my mom's approval. My mom's only concern is me getting hurt, which in my mind can happen 10 years down the line, just as much as it could in 1 year. In my head, I know my therapist is right, but in my heart, I'm still struggling to figure out how to truly communicate all of this to my mom so she sees my perspective and supports me. Not having her support, healthy or not, affects me more than I'd like. And honestly, this whole situation is kind of wild. So please bless me with your back and forth on this and how you would go about it and your overall thoughts. Now, I think, and it's possible, that we should leave this to the group and cover this in a further episode. But I did want to give background on some of the logistical things she's saying. So an H-1B visa, for those that don't know, is a visa in the United States under the Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 101. It allows U.S. employers to employ foreign workers in specialty occupations. Most people here have an H-1B visa. It can not be extended beyond 6 years. It's like a 3-year visa and you can extend it once or whatever. So if he was an undergrad for 4 years and then this is his 6th year working, like he's at the end of his visa options and now needs to go on to get a green card. So filing for a marriage green card right now, as of first quarter of 2024, takes about 18 months. But
I did not know it takes 18 months.
It didn't used to. So in filing an employer sponsored green card right now takes an average of 3 years from beginning to end.
No, but some companies you can do it really fast.
No. So, I mean, you can do it faster, but I did look this up. So you can pay a premium processing fee. Your company could pay that for you, and it would escalate the timing to 2.5 years.
No.
The thing is it like in 2016, paying that fee, it was a year and a half. So between 2016 and 2024, we're talking like this timeline has more than doubled for how long it takes for you to get a green card, not rushed. And with the marriage process, it used to take like, in some areas it could take 6 months.
Okay.
For New York, it takes 18.
So here's my main question. For this dilemma, is her main issue just that like their problems would kind of be solved if they were to just go through with this marriage, that logistically, if this wasn't a problem, they wouldn't be ready for yet, but because of all this, they want to travel, they want to meet their extended families before they get engaged, they want to do this green card, but the mom is kind of like pump the brakes. You don't want to like sign up for marriage with him just yet.
Yeah.
But she kind of answered we can discuss more too, but
the more you think about this, the more complex it gets. I wrote down some discussion points that I think we should all think about, and this is kind of a serious thing. So I'm wondering if we all think about these discussion points and like take advice seriously, so that we can come back to the table and be like, these are the options that we've all thought about for you. Because you really don't. Okay, I'll just say what I wrote as just food for thought, like discussion points that need to be thought of.
I don't think it needs to be that complicated.
I know you don't, and I knew you were going to say that, but the more you think about it, A, does the paperwork really mean nothing? Because you are married when that's done. 2.
Yes, but real quick.
Yeah.
She said in her email, I know he is definitely 1000% the one.
I know.
So that's what the point that makes it uncomplicated for me.
I know that she's saying that, but when you have your mom saying wait and your therapist saying, are you sure this is what you really want to do? And your mom will get on board eventually. I think there are things that we're not getting from this email that might be other like contributors to the situation. And I get that they're in a pickle, but this is where I think and why she even emailed in is like, what do you think? And are there other options? So like, honestly, B, are there alternatives that haven't been thought through that could help the families meet without them having to do justice of the peace? Can the family come to then? Can the trip wait? Are there other options that haven't been brought to the table? Because that's what they really want, is they just want to be able to meet each other's families. And that's the problem that they're having. The third is what happens if you get the engagement and meeting everyone at the same time. The fourth is how important is having your parent on board, because even if they get on board eventually, will you regret not ironing things over before this all goes down? How seriously do you weigh the mom's concerns? Are there potential ideas to bring your mom on board before you do this? There's a lot. I actually think there's a lot. Even if they do justice of the peace, it's like 18 months, I think, before they can even travel. I mean,
I just like
will you even do a big wedding after that?
Not to simplify, because we can discuss this more at length, and if we had more time and if we didn't talk about my freaking trip for the whole episode, we would be. But my new motto in life is do what your future self would thank you for. I've been trying to live by that lately. Like, not what your present self, but what your future self. So is her future self going to be happy that she folded for all of her relatives and didn't travel with her husband and didn't do what her and her husband's plan was because of how her relatives would all feel? Or will she do what is best for her? And will her future self thank her for that?
She's also in the middle of a sticky situation and is trying to figure out an answer. And there doesn't seem to be one that doesn't cause pain.
It's not easy. It's not cause pain for the family or yourself.
Or her. I mean, that's not ideal for anybody.
Yeah.
So I think my question is, because we have to wrap up for the day, we will share the email and listen to this again. Let us know what you think. And I think we should come back to the table with this next week and work through all these submissions.
Yeah, you guys have homework, okay? No, we'll post it on Insta.
We'll post it on Insta. But we can talk about it. I think that if we all think outside of the box, or there are certain things maybe that we're not considering, or maybe there's someone who's been through this experience. Yeah. I don't want her advice or her decision to hinge on advice from us where we have no experience in it. I'd rather have a bunch of people say, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Wait, I did this and here's something to think about. And then we can just be like a collective forum to say like, here's everything we can give you.
I did quickly run this by Ruby because one of my best friends lives in Israel and her husband is currently getting a green card. And we were just like talking about their situation and stuff. And she was like, my number one tip of advice when they do this, get an immigration lawyer because yes, it costs extra, but like the paperwork apparently for any of this is such a bitch.
So I think what should you do? You're kind of do it.
What?
You think they should just go to the courthouse?
Yes.
And I think they should wait.
Yeah, let us know who you agree with, you guys.
And let us know what your thoughts are.
And it better be me. No, I'm kidding.
We're going to come back to this. This is a big one. I like letting it simmer,
We'll touch on it for like 2 seconds in the next episode. Yeah. And we'll talk about other stuff.
And then we'll move on. Okay. We love you guys so much. We're excited to hear what you think. Honestly, I hope we can figure this out together. And we'll see you next week. Have a good day. Bye.